Welcome back everybody to another episode of the GC Informer. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracker, bringing you the latest news and a catch up from last week because things happened, life happened. We tried to record some stuff, Mark was ill, so there was a lack of content last week. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's back to normal this week, but let's crack on with today's news. I'm going to start with a catch up on a story from last week that I just couldn't leave unreported on this channel. Reggie Leaves, president of Nintendo of America, will be stepping down and his replacement has been announced in a very meme-worthy scenario, and there are 1,000,001 jokes that have already been made because we missed the boat. So I'm not going to make another one and just say that the actual name of his replacement, this is his genuine name, is Doug Bowser. And that is quite funny because it's Nintendo and Nintendo have Bowser as a character. Do you get the joke? I'm not making fun of people who made the joke, I'm just saying that there's no other jokes to be made. You'll all know Reggie, of course, though, from his very meme-ability persona. For instance, his "My body is ready." And the first thing he said at E3, which was basically a take on the "I'm here to kick ass and eat bubblegum. I've already eaten my gum." He did a play on that. I can't remember the exact words, it was a very long time ago. But the replacement, Doug Bowser, has seemed to taken this idea and he is rolling with it. He's taken his name as well and is rolling with the memes. He is taking to the position very well. He'll probably be a very good replacement for Reggie. And in fact, in his welcome speech that he made a video sort of saying, "Look, here I am." He actually had Mario and Luigi plushies on a shelf in the background of the shot tied up, which is, you know, he knew going in that this was going to be a joke, so he's rolling with it. That's good. Nintendo do seem to have a very good track record in the last sort of 10 years of high-ranking figures being very sort of memeable as such. They're very sort of big public figures and they work with that quite well. So hopefully that will continue. Yeah, there you go. That's basically it. Yeah, Reggie's stepping down, gonna miss him, but hopefully, well, by the sounds of it, his replacement is gonna be pretty good. He was actually the vice president of marketing beforehand as well, if you wanted to know that specific bit of information. But now he will be the president of Nintendo of America, so cool. Now let's talk about Metro Exodus, a game mired in controversy, not to do with anything about how good or bad it was, but because of a decision by the publisher to go with a deal from the Epic Games store and be made exclusive to that at the last minute. And regardless of what you think of that, good or bad, it's annoyed a lot of people, and I personally think that's rightly so. It's not a good thing to do that kind of thing last minute. It's very anti-consumer. But regardless, because of the way it was done, because it was so last minute, a store page still exists on Steam, even though you can't buy the game. And that store page has people's reviews on it because some of the people who ordered the game through Steam still got a Steam key, so they were able to leave a review for the game. And a lot of these people have been taking to the storefront to leave very positive reviews, like it stands on mostly positive to the best of my knowledge, but also reviews that take a big jab at both the publishers and at Epic Games for what they have done. And it's quite good. I will read out one particular example for you now because it's just, you know, it's good. It's good to see. Genuinely, one of the best story-driven games I've ever played. A shame that the publishers, not the devs, messed up the game's success by choosing to take the cash and push the game to the Epic Games launcher. Would definitely say that the game is worth the purchase if it ever comes back to Steam. That's just an example, there's plenty more that are like that, but yes, if you didn't know though, this game will actually be coming back to Steam in February 2020. It seems like the Epic Games exclusivity deal is timed, and that is true for pretty much all games that are going to be exclusive to the store. And yes, Mass Effect? What am I on about? Metro Exodus is going to be coming back to Steam on the basically on the 1 year anniversary of its release in 2020. So if you are boycotting buying it on Epic Games because of your objection to this deal, which is your choice, go for it, good for you, then by all means wait until then, because it'll be back on Steam. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is Anthem, and unfortunately it's not good news. It's received a lot of coverage. In fact, in just this last couple of weeks on the channel, I discussed, I believe it is on a newscast, that I think it might be a make or break game for BioWare as a studio, because we know what EA are like when it comes to shutting people down. And it's not got great reviews. The professional outlets have given it very, by their standards, middling reviews. It stands at about 60 to 70, I believe, and that for a AAA game on the sort of professional side of Metacritic, whatever average is not very good. That basically means the game is average, because that's how the scores work in that part of the industry, of course. And the user reviews stand even lower than that. Unfortunately, the general consensus is that the game is a bit boring. It's a bit too grindy and a bit too drawn out, but it had some promise in there somewhere. It's just that promise has not been realised to its full potential. One thing of note though is that its physical sales are dramatically down compared to its previous, or BioWare's previous game, Mass Effect Andromeda, which came out 2 years ago. Somehow 2 years ago. Don't know where that time's gone. But anyway, yeah, it's down by half compared to Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a significant number. However, you must bear in mind, in all of these kind of comparison cases, that the digital market is growing and the physical market is still shrinking. That is a very prevalent thing that is still existing. Whether or not you think that the half jump in physical sales drop is in line with that market change is a different story. I don't believe it's entirely to do with that market change. Sure, I would expect it to be down somewhat, but probably not that much. Unfortunately though, this is probably not the end of bad news for BioWare and Anthem, but we will see. After its, after its not amazingly received beta, after its chart of launch dates, and after all those 5 different launch dates have finally passed, the game is out and it has not been received as well as it could have been. So we'll see what happens. That brings us then to the end of this episode of the GC Informer, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe and share whatever you fancy to this channel. And stay tuned to GameCast for news, reviews, Let's Plays, podcasts, great content all coming up, and I will see you soon for something else.